So we go through security. We work our way into the catacombs of the building, and it takes forever to get in there because it's like way deep.
Catacomb? You're just going past all these like skulls on the walls, and you're just like, and there's Moses Cleveland himself.
Yeah.
And then Elle's like, dead.
Yeah.
The catacombs of a courthouse?
Graham's like, what are those, Dad? And I'm like, all of the souls who died waiting in line for Top Thrill 2.
All of the souls waiting for Cleveland to win a Super Bowl. Why would it be there? Why are there catacombs in a courthouse, Garrett? Why are they there?
I'm done.
I quit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know. It was deep in there, okay? It was just deep in the building.
Of the court.
So we finally get our way in there, and we get into the courtroom, and all the seats are taken. So it's me, Audrey, Graham, and Elle, and Jordan and Leah. And we look around, and the judge is like, you can take a seat in the jury box. So we have to go into this. It's all of the people in, like, the background of the court. And it's me, Jordan, Leah, Audrey, Graham, and Elle in the jury box, just sitting up there.
Do you
on the side of the courtroom, like over here?
Do you, Rachel, adopt? She's like, yes, and you're like, objection.
Slamming the gavel.
How do you get that gavel? If anybody ever asks, we have guests like, why do you always hit it 3 times? I'm going to say, here's why. Nashville.
Yeah.
It's just one word.
Like the whole town? Yeah. You just tap.
Wait,
you just
I
tap,
don't
and
have
then
the agenda.
everybody in Nashville is like,
yeah, like, oh, God.
All right, broski, you got the agenda in front of you.
I have the agenda, but one thing that isn't on the agenda is if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't already, please click the like and subscribe button wherever you're at. And we can give you a 5-star review. I always feel like you're like setting me up, like you give me a new thing. You're like, hey man, so how's that weather? I'm like, you know what? I'm like, you know what won't rain on our parade? If you click like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review.
You are getting, what I was gonna say was you're getting so fast at your plug, and it's only getting faster.
I'm like,
it started out like 15 minutes into the podcast to be like, were we supposed to? Oh, that's right. You guys should subscribe.
By the way, yeah.
Now it's like I set up a volleyball lob into the air, and you just like spike it down before you even you reach over the net.
Because I
hit it right back down at my face.
And here's the reason, because when you start to go on a tangent of one of your stories, and I just like start listening, I forget. And then like a half an hour in, we'll be talking about like, yeah, so that's the time I wrestled that alligator. I'm like, wrestled alligator, like and subscribe. If you don't like to wrestle.
Yeah, pretty soon, episode 100 is going to be like, hey, so if you guys would like
it's like, Garrett, shut up. I have to start this or else we're going to forget. How you been?
It's going to start in the past eventually. Yeah. And be like, aren't you gonna like say the thing? And it's just going to like echo from behind me. Or a DeLorean's going to just through the wall, and then you're going to step out and be like, comment, and subscribe, 5-star review.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just keeps going.
That was me in 1955.
Yeah. You looked sicker.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
It's good. Are you sick?
So we recorded episode 43 and then we recorded episode 44, but this will come out a week later, but we're only a few days between the both of them. So I'm still recovering as of this day.
Okay. All right. So you're not quite there. What's the percentage of your sick?
98. I'm good.
Oh, nice, dude.
I just have a little cough, but like the biscuits don't know. It's like I've been fighting for my life the past like 3 weeks. Not literally, but like, just one thing after the other.
Yeah. It's okay. It's your turn.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
We give each other mulligans about once a week.
Yeah. we biscuits, if you don't know this, like, we record ahead of time, but sometimes it'll happen like maybe once a quarter when things just line up where it's like, I can't this week. And Garrett's like, I can't either. It's like, we can't. I'm sick and Garrett has screaming children right now. So that we don't know what to do.
Yeah, but we're good. Both of us are not sick right now. And I'm thanking all of my lucky stars.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Orion's belt, and then one just blinks out. You're like, oh crap.
Orion's line.
Orion's line is it anyway?
Yeah, so I am so glad though that we waited because we were supposed to record yesterday. But we didn't, and I am so glad because I just went downtown with my children to one of our friends' official adoption ceremonies.
Oh, nice. I found out my car was completely out of oil. So I don't know if you want to tell your story first, but
no, let's start with yours. But before we do that, remember when you got engaged and we drove to Chicago?
Yes.
And we stopped, and I was like, I feel like we're supposed to check the car.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to check your cars when you drive like 6 hours? And then we stopped right on the outskirts of Chicago.
Yeah.
And we pulled out the dipstick in my car, and it was bone dry. And I was like, well, that can't be good.
How did we make it here?
and then I drove back, and the next week the engine locked up.
Yeah, and it was just like, that's how. Yeah, so I texted you yesterday. I texted Garrett yesterday. I said, I don't think we can record today. And it was just because like I was just tired. You have those days where you just come home and you're like, I don't think I can give anything besides like dinner.
When you have my disease, you're tired every day.
Yeah, it's called Gitchel's disease.
Yeah.
And
ADHD.
I actually decided to go and just drive a little bit just to like relax. And I turned.
That's fun.
And I turned,
into Kentucky.
How you're supposed to do when you drive. And all of a sudden the little symbol with like the oil pan with the drip coming out of it goes beep and it stops and it goes away. And I'm like, okay, so God's trying to warn me that something's wrong. So I go home and I'm on a really steep hill on our driveway. You'll know if you actually came down to visit sometime. And I parked it flat. I've
been into your apartment 3 times.
Yeah, I parked it flat. Well, I have a home now, Gitchel. I parked it flat and I take out the dipstick and there's like no oil. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's like, and I'm like, am I reading this right?
It's just like folds its arms like an angry woman. It's like, where have you been?
Yeah. And so there was nothing on it. And I'm like, well, that's crazy because I just got it looked at a few months ago and they were supposed to fix that. And what I should have been doing is, and my father-in-law will probably send me a text message saying, yeah, moron. I should have probably been checking after it every like 1,000 miles just to make sure it still wasn't leaking.
Yeah.
Which I didn't. And then so it was bone dry. So I take it AutoZone and I buy OW20, which is apparently what my Corolla takes. And I bring it home and I park it in the garage and I pour like half the bottle into it. And then I wait 10 minutes because that's what it says you're supposed to do. That's what
you get
Google
1
tells
liter?
Me. No, I got like a 4-liter thing. Yeah, I got the big thing.
Carton,
and I wait 10 minutes and I'm like, okay, well, let's just see. And it's 3/4 of the way full on the dipstick. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was out of oil.
Yeah.
So now I have a scheduled appointment on Friday so they can tell me that something's wrong and I owe $4,000.
Yeah. Welcome to.
So you getting sick is my car breaking.
Yeah,
it happens every other week and I never know what to do.
I haven't had a car issue in a bit.
Yeah, I would like to say I haven't been sick in a while.
We traded curses.
Yeah, we did. So I hate life and I'm mad and I really don't want to drop a lot of money on this car again. Yeah. So
it's okay. At least you're investing in your home. So you're actually building equity. So.
The wall just falls behind me. It's like, am I?
It's like the barn falling over, but like there's the perfect cutout of the window and it just falls around you.
And I'm just looking around and I take out my phone and I go, hey, honey, dinner's canceled tonight.
Yeah.
The walls are falling down all around us. They're caving in. The walls
and then a chicken pops out from underneath the house that just squashed it and it's just on a plate and you're like, never mind.
We're good. How do all the feathers come off? So tell me about this whole adoption thing.
So Rachel D'Alessandro.
Are we going first and last names now?
I'm so sorry. Rachel D'Alessandro.
Oh, she hates it. She hates that, dude. D'Alessandro.
She was in the court holding her baby, her new baby.
I had no idea this whole process was even happening. So can you catch me up? Because
you haven't seen pictures, huh? Because you're not allowed to post pictures when you're a foster.
Okay, so I'm going to catch everybody up from my point of view here. Garrett texts me today.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, so like Rachel D'Alessandro was like in the middle of her adoption ceremony. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
wait. She's being adopted?
No.
But I had no idea she was adopting a child.
And she's just holding me, like cradling me.
Yeah, and Audrey's
and
just
I have
like,
a bottle.
Yeah, Audrey's like, he's your problem now. But I had no idea she was even adopting. So let's give some background too on Rachel first, because I feel like it would be better if people knew who this person was.
So I'm going to check with her if I can say the name. And if I can't, then you're just going to hear a beep.
Like if we were ever
like
to swear. Word. Yeah.
Yeah. So her son's name is...
Okay.
He's the most adorable little black baby, and he's so cute. He's just the coolest little kid in the world. He just looks up at you and he gives you sass with his eyes in a way that I've never experienced before.
That's Rachel's son, and she does the same thing.
Yeah. The first time I met him, I was like, hey, buddy. He's not even a year old, by the way. He's just a tiny baby.
Okay.
First time I met him, I walk up to him and I go, hey, buddy. And he just goes...
Yeah, he's kind of just looking at you like, can I help you? Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah. Mother, you're not mom.
Who is this curly-headed freak?
I wish he had a British accent so bad, like Kelsey Grammer as Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, excuse me, sir, but you are looking at me and you are all up in my face.
He's got this cute little afro.
Yeah.
He's just the coolest little kid. So anyway, she's holding him in her lap. And the judge with, full drab. Is that the word?
Do you say drab to a judge? Garb? Robe?
I don't know.
Robe.
The robe.
Garrett.
Yeah, the robe.
and the judge is in full drab.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is why you can never get out of your tickets, dude.
I guess you can adopt the kid or whatever.
Yeah. What if the judge's name was Judge? All rise for Judge.
Don't you judge. Don't you be judging. So she's like, could you state your name? And she's like, Rachel D'Alessandro.
She said Sandro?
Yeah. And then immediately it's just like that meme of the puppet with his eyes going back and forth.
Yeah, and everyone's looking around.
Sandro this whole time.
Me too.
For 10 years.
Gosh. It's like I'm at work and I just feel like a shift in the atmosphere. I'm like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
What was I wrong about?
So we're going into the courthouse, right? This is like the Cleveland courthouse, like the historic one.
Yeah.
Like the 1750 courthouse.
The one where they had like witch trials at.
Yeah, right. And I'm walking up and down these halls with my kids, just showing them this historic building. Yeah. Sorry, say that again?
1750, dude.
I don't know.
We didn't become a country until 1783 when we won the war, and then 1776 when we declared. And Ohio wasn't a state till 1803, and Cleveland wasn't. I guess it kind of was around.
There was pictures of judges on the wall with like the white wig with like the frill.
Well, they wore that
chest frills
way after until we eventually were like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But that wasn't until like the mid 1800s.
We need to make these ties straight and choke them tighter around our necks. Yeah. What is this?
We declared independence from Britain, but boy, do they have a sense of style.
Yeah. So I'm walking up and down these halls with the marble arches going over us, and I'm showing my kids like this historic building. I've got Graham and Elle, and Graham looks. He starts doing that thing where he's like, he needs to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, I'm just upset, and I'm sorry, Biscuits. I'm ADHD all the way today. You said marble arches, and I just pictured a McDonald's in there, but it's fancy court. It's like the yellow arches, but they're in marble.
Cleveland. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm freaking cold.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cavaliers, call us. We have a new slogan.
Okay. So Graham's doing the potty dance, right? He's going back and forth. And we're walking around and I'm like, where's this bathroom? And there's this like ornate, like giant wooden door. You know, the kind like the huge Ebenezer, like door. And with this huge doorknob with a knocker on it. And it just says men.
Get straight to the point, don't
and
they?
I'm like, in here, Graham. And he's like, Daddy, that's not the bathroom. And I'm like, yes, it is, son. It says men. And he's like, that's the bathroom. And I was like, yes, sir. you too can poop where Moses Cleveland pooped.
Oh my gosh. You too can use a fancy bathroom in a courthouse.
And I'm like trying to imagine what the bathroom used to look like.
Yeah.
And I go in and I'm like, hopefully they've updated. And it's like all sparkly new in there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that whole debacle happened, and all of the like Rachel's relatives and church people and all that's like they're all gathering in the hallway, and we go in.
Okay, now Rachel too was adopted, right?
So they talked about this. They went through like the judge asked her mom about like her history, and she's like, "How many foster kids did you have in your home when Rachel was being raised?" And she was like, "About 40."
Yeah,
and I was like, I should never complain ever again.
No, so Rachel was never adopted, but she had a lot of foster siblings, right?
I actually don't know the answer to this for real. I thought her mom was like legit her mom. I could be wrong about that. Was she adopted? I didn't know this.
What? Maybe I got confused. I think I always remember her telling me I have a lot of had a lot of foster siblings in my home. I think that's what it was. Yeah. I don't think she was adopted, but she had a lot of foster siblings.
I should know my long-term friends a little better. Anyway,
especially if you're going to a big important event of their life, Garrett.
So we go through security. We work our way into the catacombs of the building, and it takes forever to get in there because it's like way deep.
Catacombs? You're just going past all these like skulls on the walls, and you're just like, and there's Moses Cleveland himself, and then Elle's like, dead.
Yeah.
The catacombs of a courthouse.
Graham's like, what are those, Dad? And I'm like, all of the souls who died waiting in line for Top Thrill 2.
All of the souls waiting for Cleveland to win a Super Bowl. Why would it be there? Why are there catacombs in a courthouse, Garrett? Why are they there?
I'm done.
I quit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know. It was deep in there, okay? It was just deep in the building.
Catacombs of the court.
So we finally get our way in there, and we get into the courtroom, and all the seats are taken. So it's me, Audrey, Graham, and Elle, and Jordan and Leah. And we look around, and the judge is like, you can take a seat in the jury box. So we have to go into this. It's all of the people in, like, you know, the background of the court. And it's me, Jordan, Leah, Audrey, Graham, and Elle in the jury box, just sitting up there.
Do you
on the side of the courtroom, like over here?
Do you, Rachel, adopt? She's like, yes, and you're like, objection.
Slamming the gavel.
How do you get that gavel?
Objection. He needs to adopt her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're just deliberating over like the sentence. You're like, so should this child get 15 years with his new mom? Or what should we do here? It's like you're just sitting in the box, Garrett.
Yeah. Court will recess.
Yeah. You can't do that, Rachel. Yeah, sit down.
So we sit down and we're just sitting there awkward, and the judge is like, looks like you guys are gonna have to make a final decision in this case.
So there she's punny too.
She's making jokes.
Okay.
And I look over, and this really happened. Graham is eating a sandwich.
It's like that. I keep bringing up The Simpsons, but it's like literally the jury of The Simpsons where you're just going down the line and it just gets worse, and then a kid has a sandwich.
I look over. Graham is eating a sandwich.
It's amazing. Is that the picture? That is a sandwich. My gosh.
So anyway, so the social workers are doing their testimonies, right? So like all of the people who have been a part of this journey, like they've been in her house, they've been checking her out, making sure that she's doing what she's supposed to. They're all giving like these splendid, teary-eyed testimonies of how amazing she is as a mom.
2 arms and 2 legs.
Yeah.
She is.
And as this is happening, like there's people like tearing up, like wiping tears like this, because it's such a beautiful thing that, like, you know, Rachel really deserves this. She's worked so hard.
Right. She's
been so good. And these social workers who don't know her are like testifying to her character, which is so cool. And I look over, and Elle she's kind of
like moving slowly away.
And I'm sitting there with Graham and all of this stuff, like her lunchbox and like coloring books and like the backpack, and I'm trying to make sure Audrey's like, you know, and there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck, and Elle's just kind of around the jury box area, like inching out into the courtroom, and I'm like,
no.
And she's looking back at me, and I just go like this. Nope.
No, stop.
And she just looks and goes, and then just like darts.
and then leaves.
And I'm like, Elle, get back here right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to like keep it down. So I'm not gonna catch any of this. Like I made the decision. Audrey's gonna enjoy this. I'm just gonna like try to keep the kids like not from murdering somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. In a courthouse nonetheless.
Yeah. So I'm sitting down with Elle in my lap, and I'm reading, and I'm holding this book open so that she can see it, and the judge starts going through her official pronouncement. Yeah,
I got you, brother.
And like, because you have proven yourself up, and then Elle just looks up and she just goes, "Daddy, read it." And I'm like, "Shh, not right now, Elle.
This is the most important part."
And then she goes, "Daddy, read it."
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh, and then the peacock then.
And then the fire truck went and took out the fire, and the polka dotted dog was like, wow, I learned something today here, guys.
Like, was that so hard?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So she's strong-arming me into it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Audrey's just tearing up, and like, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like taking care of them. And the next thing I know is I look up, and little baby has a gavel, a foam gavel, and he's up with the judge, and he's going like this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And
that is so cute.
I have a picture of it.
Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing I've ever
seen.
seen.
You see him hitting the gavel down?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. That is so cute.
So it was a really beautiful moment, and we're all congratulating each other. And I give Rachel a big hug, and it's just like, oh, it's such a beautiful, cool moment to have been a part of. Like, just an amazing day. And we're starting to leave, and I look over, and there's a sign there, like a placard sign that has like letters on it. As you walk into the room, and you can change it and give like specific like court-directed orders on it and stuff. And Graham is just going,
oh my gosh, man. Why?
Switching them around.
So like, here's the thing. Should we have a podcast where it's just Graham and Elle, and they're like giving their defense of all your stories?
Yeah.
And they're saying cross-legged, and Elle's like, I mean, I don't really know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I politely asked for him to read about the fire trucks. I mean, there's no problem there.
I fully expect our kids to take over this podcast and throw us directly under the bus.
Yeah. And Graham's like, I was the one who had to take him to the bathroom.
Yeah. Just correcting every single thing.
Yeah. It's just everything is wrong. We're just like, wow, Garrett.
So as they're wrapping it up, I have to be the one now to correct the sign.
Yeah.
And this is the best that I could get it. Ready? Please read this.
No food or drink in Quo Omrin, please.
No.
In
peas.
In peas. Oh, no, that's a peas. My brain did that thing where it just fills it in. Let me read that again. No food.
Yeah. So anyway, I couldn't find the letters.
Dude, ridiculous. And they just have it in their pockets.
We were walking down the hallway towards the exit, and I just see Graham going like this, just shuffling.
Oh, no.
And then he pulls out an L.
I knew it.
And I was like, Graham Gitchell.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're just
you
like,
come here. And he just darts.
Yeah.
So then I grab the L, and I'm like, Graham, you stay here right now.
The letter, not his daughter.
Yeah. And I run in, and I quickly put it on the thing, and I turn back around. It took me 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I come out into the hallway. No Graham.
No.
He is gone.
Stop it.
Just gone.
You have more pictures, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
This is the hallway I came out to.
Oh my gosh. It's just empty. Look how fancy that hallway looks. That looks like the university I went to.
So I'm going through my mind. I'm like, okay, option one, I could tell Audrey.
So no options yet.
She's having a grand old time, congratulating Rachel and having, contributing to this momentous occasion.
Okay.
Could go interrupt that, crash it. I could go look for Graham. Or I could allow him to just become a part of nature.
A part of the courthouse. He's just on a swing in the catacombs.
Yeah.
Like, Daddy, Daddy.
And the ghost of Graham Gitchell was born that day.
And legend has it, the reason why the courthouse has never had the letter L anywhere is because Graham still has it.
Peas, order in the court.
Yeah. Court.
Because I put it back just in the wrong place.
That sounds like something they say on Futurama, dude. Order in the court.
So I decided to just be calm, and I'm like,
that's good.
I had that moment that we talked about last episode where I was like, I got something for the podcast today.
Yeah. Garrett's message to me was like, it was courtroom chaos.
Yeah. Debacle would be a small word.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, stay calm. He's probably not abducted. He's probably just somewhere hiding.
Not in a courthouse.
People are mostly good. Like, just trust. Don't panic. You know, because one of my biggest fears is losing a kid.
I have a philosophical difference with you, but we will continue.
You're intentionally trying to avoid children? Is that what you're going to say?
No, people are not mostly good.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't think so, pal.
I believe they are.
I think it's half and half, depending on...
You think they're 50-50?
I think... I had a friend, he said it's more nurture than nature. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of passed down stuff can happen. And I think that if people don't recognize that and don't work twice as hard for kids, that it's just going to end up the same way. And they're going to become pretty bad adults.
Gotcha. What percentage am I?
You are
100 and 100.
11.
100% good, 100% sarcasm.
Yeah. What? That's 200%. I never said this was a mathematical equation.
Check my ADHD scores. I got negative 1,000.
It was mind-boggling.
So I'm walking down the hallway and I'm just like, I'm never going to find him. And as soon as I said that in my mind, I just hear this. Hold on. Daddy!
And you look around and you're like, and someone comes up to you like, quick, Gitchell, he fell into the well. The only well in the courthouse.
Yeah.
And you go running towards and some in the middle of all the marble like flooring is just this old wooden well.
Yeah. He's just stuck down there.
Yeah.
No, but it was just echoey and I was like, he's down there somewhere. So I found him and of course he was like, scared. So I'm like, I use it as a thing. Like, this is why, dude, you don't run away, man. Trying to use the natural consequences of his being scared to threaten him.
I would have just
and I told him like, there's bad guys, and they could take you. I'm not lying,
I would have just shouted, "You're going to prison now, son. Just wait till your own trial."
Yeah. See you in court.
Yeah.
So I'm done. I'm like, okay, let's go. I got work.
Yeah.
I got to get in. I got to get back in.
Sure.
And I go into Rachel and I'm like, congratulations.
I'm down
Give her
again.
a big, yeah. Pick up both Elle and Graham under my arms and just like, goodbye.
Yeah. See ya.
So we walk out. And it takes for, we're like super in the deep part of the courthouse. So it takes forever to find our way out. And it took about maybe a half hour with Jordan and Leah going from floor 5 to floor 1 to floor 4.
Yeah.
And just looking forever. And the kids were just like we're just walking endlessly because we cannot find our way out.
Sure.
And we get wrong directions and we get even worse lost. And then we finally find the light of day and we get out. And we say our goodbyes and we get to the car. And Audrey looks down at Graham and she's like, "What's wrong, son?" He's like, "I have to potty."
Not again.
And I was
But here's the thing, man. Like, can I say this on this podcast?
Yeah, say anything.
Garrett is sending me pictures this week. And he's telling me, he's like, Elle is just peeing wherever she wants. And then I'm minding my business. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Like, trying not to like comment, like, I'm sorry, or hey, like whatever. I think an hour goes by. Yeah. And Garrett and I haven't talked. And my phone just goes, and I'm like, what? And it's just his kitchen. And there's this liquid on the floor. There's just this puddle on the floor. And I'm like, oh no, he's serious. Yeah. He is serious. And so it does. I'm surprised that it hadn't happened in the courthouse.
Well, I have an update actually. Yesterday she started peeing on the potty. So she won't poop on the potty, but she will pee now.
Your daughter's going to hate you when she's an adult hearing this.
She hates me already.
Okay.
That's fine.
Read about the elephants.
Read the book, Daddy.
You're just in court and she just puts like something up to your head.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like baby key. She's like,
and then I look and it's a Gabby's Dollhouse cupcake.
She's like, I am royalty in South Africa.
As she slowly smushes it onto my face.
And you will obey me. And then she whispers in your ear, just like Breaking Bad. She's like, we're done. When I say we're done.
Now read.
Read.
Oh my gosh. So great. So anyway, I take him and I'm like, Graham, we're not going back in.
Yeah.
You're peeing out here. And I'm like, we're in Cleveland. I'm going through my mind. I'm like, I know if you're a grown up, you can get citations for peeing in public.
It's
for public urination.
indecency.
Yeah. So I'm like, are they going to arrest my 4-year-old though?
Maybe it'd be good for him.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe so,
I don't know,
man.
son. It was your choice. I didn't pull your pants down.
This is one of the kids where you got to set him to jail on part of that series called Scared Straight. And your 4-year-old son is just in there like, you like peeing wherever you want. And he just nods his head like, yeah. They're like,
I do.
Me too.
Yeah. So I tell him, I take him like out of sight of anything, like into an alley.
Right.
Like, between things.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I'm like, at least he's hidden, and he just looks up at me and I'm like, it's okay, son. I'm here. Don't worry. And he pees and I look down and it's on
your shoes.
It's those Nerds ropes. It's like the big packages, like the Twizzler size, Twizzler size packets of like Nerds rope candy or whatever. And he's peeing on them, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And he finishes and he pulls up and I go over and I look at them and they're full. It's like 5 or 6 packets, like full packs of these candy in a pile. Like you can't write this stuff. You can't make it. I'm like, why is this here?
So Graham peed on a homeless person's treat.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why they were there.
You were there, so your mind's clouded. I'm looking at this from an objective, unbiased standpoint, thinking, that homeless person probably saved up whatever they were saving up to buy those.
And they were
left
out
them there
shopping, looking for more or something.
And now do you think they ate?
They're going to come back to pee covered.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm glad you're having this epiphany. I'm here thinking like, nope, that definitely was somebody's snack, my friends.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, now you do.
So, but I've never seen like full things of candy just laying on the street like that. It's usually like eating wrappers.
Garrett, it's Cleveland. They're trying their best.
Yeah.
And your son just peed all over it. Man.
Yeah.
Garrett.
So whoever wants it can still eat it.
Yeah.
But.
No.
So anyway, we get back to the car and Audrey's like, Garrett. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I have to pee.
Audrey said the same thing. What is up with this family?
She's like,
dude?
I'm going to go and pay for the parking ticket and go, can you just watch the kids? And I'm like, sure. So I sit down in the car and I'm like, all right, son, do you want to talk about what happened today? Do you understand? Miss Rachel became a mommy today, and I'm trying to explain to him like what adoption is. Like some kids don't have mommies. And he's like, some kids don't have mommies? And I'm like, yeah, they don't. Isn't it so great that like now Miss Rachel can say that that's her baby and that's actually her child now because she chose to bring him into her house.
Sure.
And he looks up at me and he's just with these like worried eyes and he's like, what if mommy ever threw me on the ground and said, I don't like you anymore?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, no.
Oh my
You're not going to lose your
gosh.
mommy. No, never. And I was like, maybe I should have waited a year to talk
Oh my
about
gosh.
this.
And then Audrey just comes back after Graham's traumatized and she's like, all right, let's leave. There are no bathrooms anywhere. So I just decided to pee on these nerd ropes.
Yeah.
You just get into the car and you just drive away.
There's a homeless man with a shopping cart just standing there going,
what on earth?
So yeah, that was my story. And then I drove back into work and now I'm here with you. All right, Seth. So I was doing gravy garnish the other day.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I'm in a rut.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Let's do something fun. Let's
do
something new.
Something different, something blue. It's now time for
we just sign into Jack Trip and we're the Blue Man crew with like the blue makeup and we're just like
bald. And you're like, and I'm like, yeah, Garrett, you put the bald head mask on, right?
Yeah.
And then you're quiet and you're looking around. I'm like, Garrett, you didn't really shave your head, right?
Yeah. And then I'm like, and I pull up my foot and it's just blue.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, you really went the extra mile.
Yeah. So I was watching news yesterday morning with my son.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Because I've been waking up at 6. Audrey and I have implemented a new strategy of how to handle our children and also our lives at the same time.
What's it like waking up at 6?
Part of the my way of pulling my weight is I wake up at 6, so that if any children wake up before 7:30, I have them.
Okay.
Then Audrey can have an hour and a half of time in the morning to do whatever she wants because she's got the kids all freaking day.
Right.
So she can exercise, she can shower, she can do whatever she chooses. It's her hour and a half.
Okay.
So I choose to watch the news with Graham. And I've never done this before with him. And I have to say, it is a pretty tumultuous, questioning time to have introduced my son to news.
I was about to say, I was like, Daddy, why are the trees on fire?
Yes.
That used to be our home, son.
What they're doing is they're going back and forth because things are so bad that they have to go back all the way to this side of the spectrum to all the way to cute.
Yeah.
So it's like, on one, they were talking about the parliament in Siberia and how they're like, you think that the State of the Union was bad this time? Look at what's happening in Serbia, and there was smoke bombs and eggs.
Wait, was it Serbia?
Throwing at the
was it Serbia or Siberia?
Siberia, was it Serbia? One of those.
I don't think Siberia has a parliament.
Siberian parliament.
I got it.
It's just a bunch of penguins.
I was going to say polar bears, and they're just wearing glasses and wigs. They're like, all right, how much snow has fallen this week?
Yeah. There's a penguin, and it's like, save Medicare for all penguins. And then the polar bear just goes over and just eats them. He's like,
and then I just turned to Graham after the cutaway, be like, there aren't any penguins in the North Pole, so just let your dad have that one. Okay.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, all right, Seth.
All right. Who are you?
So it's like, look at what's happening in Parliament, and there's just like people punching each other and like throwing smoke bombs.
Yeah.
And then the next segment is like, somewhere in North Dakota, a couple bald eagles are having babies. And it's like got the, where was it? Actually, it was California, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like a nest of bald eagles, and there's like a eagle cam.
Yeah.
And the guy's holding his laptop, and he's like, oh, how cute. So the next segment was there was these YouTubers, I guess, that were unaliving people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're talking about it just blatantly. And Graham's hearing it. I'm like, it's too late. It's going into his ears.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I kid you not, was like, this cow got out of its barn stall and is causing quite a ruckus. And it's running down the street.
Okay, so here's my question for you.
I'm like, guys, do we have to go from here all the way to this side?
I got two things to say. One, what were you watching?
Just the news. Just ABC.
Just on the news?
Yeah, just ABC Live news.
And the second thing is there's this thing called CNN 10.
Uh-huh.
And it's informative and it's clean. It's for students where they go through the news in 10 minutes.
Well, I have tried this one time.
Okay.
So anyway, I decided in that moment that we're going to try a new segment on here. And it's not going to be news that's over here. It's not going to be news that's over here. It's going to be news that's right in the middle.
You have something planned, don't you?
I do.
What is this?
So our new segment is called...
Wait, what are you doing?
News from around the world. All right. Are you ready to hear news from around the world?
Are you going to continue playing music in the background?
Is that okay? Should I turn it off? Is it too serious?
Yeah, you should probably eventually just fade it down. Yeah. Because it'll be too distracting.
Here we go.
Yeah.
News story number one. This is exciting. We really get a chance to do new stuff on here.
Yeah.
U.S. actress Lindsay. Should I pick a accent?
No, just read it. Garrett, just read it, man.
I'm excited.
I know you are.
U.S. actress Lindsay Lohan was bitten by a snake while on vacation in Thailand.
Oh.
The 31. That was such an informative oh.
Oh.
The 31-year-old was bitten by a reptile during a hike in Phuket.
Okay.
Lohan reported on her Instagram to her fans, reassuring them that she is okay. That's all it says. Okay.
I'm all right.
She said, I love this. I love this. It's so beautiful. An amazing place, aside from my snake bite.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, dude.
Unquote. Speaking to the Daily Mail about her decision to relocate to Thailand, she said, I love living in New York, but I do love the serenity and peace that I find living in the Middle East.
Is that real?
Because there's no cameras in Dubai, and I can actually focus on what I want to do with my life.
Yeah, but do you know what there are? Missile strikes.
Yeah.
Wow,
I just love the Middle East.
I'm so glad there aren't any cameras. Hey, what's that coming towards us? Boom.
Oh, that's a military drone. What were you saying?
Yeah. I just find so much peace and serenity in the most historically tumultuous area in the entire world.
Yeah.
Okay.
A 95-year-old woman from Kent has become the oldest competitive croquet player in the world.
Why do you say German?
I don't know. It just felt right.
In the world.
The most competitive croquet player in the world.
Oh my gosh.
June Jury has been playing for Ramsgate Croquet Club for 36 years.
Even that
time.
Even that sounds German. Ramsgate.
I know, right? Is it Ramsgate? Maybe
I don't know. I don't see it in front of me. You're the anchor here, pal.
Now, after more than a year of investigating, Guinness World Records has confirmed that June is in fact the oldest. Wait, hold on. A year? It took a year to investigate this? Who spent a year on this?
They're like squeezing the skin on top of her hands. They're like, all right, how old is she?
Yeah. They're
blood samples.
I can see them bursting into a room full of like old croquet players, like, stop right there. How old are you exactly?
All right, it's going to take us a year to verify this. We can't go at any records. Yeah. We have to wait a year.
They go back into June's room and they're just like, good news, June, you were the old. Oh, she's dead.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. They're like, it took us 1 year and we can confirm that she was the oldest croquet player that has ever played.
June is the oldest croquet player. She falls over dead. Was the oldest croquet player.
Oh my
God. That she is in fact the oldest competitive player on the planet. They apparently confirmed this. This is a quote from June. By the age I am, I don't get very excited about things, but this has been great.
Okay, so I don't have any grandparents left. So the only grandparent I technically have is my wife's grandma, Gigi, and she is awesome. She's incredible because she'll like the most exciting thing could ever happen.
Yeah.
And she'll just turn beat. Like you could have like an entire parade come by with like sparklers and twirlers and everything else. And it's like, oh my gosh, this was so expected. And we get like all this like stuff and everything. And then they just leave and she'll turn and she'll be like, well, that was quite a surprise.
Yeah.
And you're just like, Gigi, do not underplay how amazing whatever just happened was. She's great.
A tsunami hits your house and then everybody's just suddenly dressed in like Bahamas garb and like just covered in like fruit and like grass skirts, and there's a beach there, and she just turns around and she just rips a banana off her hat and she's like, this isn't ripe yet.
Yeah. She'll be like, wow. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
yeah, no, that's all. Just like,
that's what she would say.
Well said.
Unimpressed.
Well
wow.
said, Gigi. Yeah. Well said.
All right. A humpback whale briefly trapped a kayaker in its mouth off Chilean Patagonia before quickly releasing him unharmed.
Oh, I did read about that. Yeah, dude got swallowed by a whale.
Did you see the video?
No, I didn't because I was at work. I was on my plan and I'm just like, oh, sweet. There's a
believe
video.
It or not, I was doing this weird thing called making a living.
Yeah, and I was just waiting in the comments. I'm like, all right, where are the biblical people? And without fail, they're like, Jonah was in the fish for 3 days.
Of course.
And I'm just like, great.
Yeah.
And like their profile picture is like a Celtic cross with like cursive letters under it.
Leave it to us evangelical Christians to make everything some kind of biblical standpoint.
Yeah, don't get me started.
That restaurant reminds me, you really can't have it your way. It's got to be God's way. Which I actually think it's true.
We might be loving it, but we're loving him more. So here's a nugget of information for you.
Cook is exactly like that.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, I just sent it to you in the chat.
Okay.
Adrian Simankis was kayaking with his father, Del Simankis.
So I need to pause. The video you sent me said, watch, goat rescued from fifth floor flat ledge in Madrid.
I sent you the wrong video.
You did? It's of a goat.
I'm
like watching. I'm like, why is there a goat here?
You can watch our YouTube video and see it there.
Okay.
When the massive whale suddenly surfaced, trapping the young man and his yellow kayak in its mouth for a few seconds before letting him go.
Stop saying mouth like that. Why do you keep saying mouth?
That's the way I'm saying it from now on.
Mouth.
I'm gonna hit you in the mouth.
Okay.
Dell, just meters away. Okay, this is a British thing.
It's never
just meters away.
Okay, how far is it? How far is that?
Captured the moment on meters. Isn't this at 1 meter?
I just picture like from that parking meter to that meter.
Yeah.
It's meters away.
It was at least 4 parking meters away.
Okay.
When he swallowed him in his mouth.
Stop!
Dell, just meters away, captured the moment on video, which, by the way, is probably not something I'd be doing if Graham was swallowed by a whale. Like, hold on, son. Can you just hold it open a little longer?
Just press start.
All right, got it. Now you can get swallowed.
Okay, see ya, son. Keep getting lost, huh? First the courthouse, now this. Just can't stay still, can you?
You know, if you'd stop getting yourself ingested by things, I wouldn't have such a hard time. He captured it on video while encouraging his son to stay calm.
Stay calm.
This is a quote from Adrian. I thought it had eaten me and swallowed me. That's it. That's it.
And like they were like interviewing him, and the camera guy turns to the producer. He's like, "So who's gonna tell him?"
And that's all the news from around the world.
All right, Garrett. So I don't feel like we've talked about in a while your unhealthy obsession with the Top Thrill 2.
If it's unhealthy, then I don't want to be health.
So any of you Banter Biscuits who might be new listeners, Garrett every now and then gets on this tangent because he's obsessed with the Top Thrill Dragster 2
I forgot to say
from
if
Cedar Point.
If it's unhealthy to like Cedar Point. Sorry. I'm an idiot.
It's not unhealthy, but your obsession with this roller coaster that you fear is blowing my mind.
I know. It's because it's like imagine you're going to the eye doctor and it could happen any day.
I don't know what like I could go to the eye doctor any day.
And it was like, okay, it won't happen in the winter or early spring or late fall. Oh, no, it will happen in late fall. But it could happen at any other time. And you don't know when it's going to be.
How do you know my eye doctor's schedule? Anyways, give me some news, Garrett, on the Top Thrill Dragster 2. What's going on?
So, I went ahead and did a risky thing, and I bought another
season pass,
Cedar Point season pass.
Okay, all right.
With the hopes that we would eventually be able to go and film us.
How, by the way?
Well, okay. So actually, that's a good. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Great partner.
Yeah.
So here's how.
Because I'm not getting kicked out of the park for a GoPro.
You can actually do this, and
Okay.
I've actually started the process. So you reach out to Cedar Point, or you reach out to any other, theme park where you have some sort of social media or show of some kind.
Okay.
And you can get prior approval according to your equipment that you bring to bring equipment on the ride and do a POV. Provided it's all like the advertising for the park is done properly and they approve of the video and they approve of the equipment and all that. But most of the time, the thing is they want to know that there's actual listeners. So we have exactly 6 weeks to get 500 more subscribers.
Okay, so we're not filming it. We'll just talk about it.
The point is, like, they will let you do it if it's for something.
Okay.
But they don't want to let people do it if it's just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
So if you're just some person, like, they're going to need to see, like, you have an actual podcast.
Okay.
You have an actual channel.
Right.
Which we do. We have a YouTube channel.
We do. We have everything.
We could potentially convince them, and this is what I'm trying to do right now, is just, like, filter through all of the proper channels,
right,
to find the person who I can convince this will be good for your park because you're going to actually get exposure.
Yeah.
So,
like, they need it.
Yeah.
Like they need it. Oh, Banter Gravy's sponsoring us. Wow.
Hey, you know what? If you put a new roller coaster in your park and let 7 people ride it and then close it again for 2 years, you're going to take all the help you can get from me. Okay.
Yeah. Gary, you're going to go in and you're doing a really good thing.
Yeah. No, they need some. There's some angry people who have driven from Florida, as we found out, who drove all the way up here and didn't get to ride it.
So what's the news? So what's the news, Gitchell? What is it?
So, all right. So a few weeks back, they did a thing called Winter I was gonna say Winter Jam. That's a Christian concert.
You mean just winter? Because we're in
Winter
it, buddy.
Chill.
Oh, okay.
Winter Chill. Winter Chill is a day where Cedar Point and or coaster enthusiasts can have one day where they're allowed into the park. This was the day. You remember a while ago when Ohio was like -5?
Yes.
They scheduled it for that day.
Oh, good. So like they're just being so spiteful. Like, yeah, well, let's do it that day.
Yeah, if you don't freeze walking there.
Yeah.
So they let people into the park just to walk around, and they open Starbucks and the meat shop, and they let you walk through the Maverick Tunnel, and they do all sorts of stuff that you can't do in the normal season.
Okay.
And they just let people walk around the park and just see what it's like with snow everywhere.
Cool.
And so a bunch of people noticed because, it's right there. You can see it.
Yeah.
There's videos and pictures of a blackening in a lot of the different geometric shapes on the track as it goes up, just black spots.
Okay.
And so apparently what that is when you work with metal, if you superheat metal with a torch,
yeah,
it will, if you heat this side of the track, it will gravitate and bend the opposite way.
Okay.
So there was just different like spots of black all over the place where they were apparently positioning and bending it so that it would like have a straighter trajectory so that it would be smoother.
Okay.
So rumor has it that that's kind of one of the last final things, like adjusting the track that happens. Okay. So, chances are that we could be looking at an open coaster this season or sometime in the early season.
I thought the issue was they didn't have a patent for the wheels.
Right, but over the time that it hasn't been used and maintained, it has fallen into disrepair in certain ways.
Okay.
So get your butt cheeks ready because
gosh,
we might be shooting up backwards twice
on the Top Thrill 2.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, thanks for the update. I'm looking forward to it. Funny you mentioned this. I actually got a job at Kings Island this summer.
Great.
I'm going to be working.
So you're not going to be coming up here. Awesome.
I'm going to be working emergency dispatch to make some extra cash.
Wait, they want you for that?
I guess.
How are you where are you dispatching people to?
Emergencies. And if I can't find any,
would you like to have 6 badgers on your back all of a sudden?
Yeah. And if I can't find any, I'm going to make my own. Sir, the man guessed the woman's weight right at 350 pounds and she isn't having it. Call the police quick.
You're like, I'll take care of this.
Yeah.
With a shotgun, and then you shoot a hornet's nest, and it just falls directly onto them, and they're like, oh God.
You're talking about not losing sponsors, and you just made a shotgun reference.
And then the Kings Island CEO just walks up and gives you a barrel full of money.
Yeah, he's like, take it and never come back. Yeah. I'm like, sweet. And then I go.
Sorry, go ahead.
I go and I fix the Top Thrill 2. I'm like, Garrett, you're not going to believe it.
Yeah. So you have a summer job?
Yeah, for the first time, because I'm not actually in college anymore, getting my master's degree. So my wife's just like tapping her foot at me like, all right, well, so what are you doing this summer?
So there's a problem with you having an actual break from your insanity?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds about right.
So, yeah, I'm doing it just to make, what else am I going to do? So I'll just make some more money and we'll have
Come
fun.
Up here and hang out with me.
Yeah. 70,
scream your head off on a roller coaster.
71 goes 2 directions, Garrett.
Yeah.
It's not a one-way highway. Yeah. Garrett's just going
Once
into
you're in the
oncoming
South,
traffic.
you never come back.
Yeah, you never come back. No, I would love to come up sometime. I think we'll do something for sure.
Yeah, we got to take care of it. I mean,
probably Labor Day.
It's hanging over my head.
Yeah.
So anyway, biscuits you can look forward to. We're kind of thinking about maybe just surprising you with, maybe a celebration, maybe episode 50 or 60 or something. So make sure you stay subscribed and invite people to actually be a part of it, because that's going to be a big deal when we unveil that video.
Yeah. All right, Garrett, are you ready to choose a random Wikipedia article?
I'm ready.
All right, Banter Biscuits.
Random Wikipedia.
Hey.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I'm having so much fun.
Okay. So if you biscuits don't know about this segment, I I never see those coming. I should be smarter about this.
I felt bad about it for about a month.
I should know. We pick a random Wikipedia article, the both of us do, and we talk about it. And usually it ends up somehow with Asian athletic games and Britain.
Yeah.
So
one of those two things.
I'm looking forward to see what this is. All right. You ready to click it, Garrett?
I'm ready to click random
All right.
article.
3, 2, 1.
1. Earthquake cycles.
Sweet. We didn't get anything about what we just talked about, which is good.
Yeah. For once. Okay, what's yours?
Henna, but then classic
the tattoo,
Wikipedia.
The fake tattoo.
No, I don't even know what that is.
That's Hannah.
The title of the article is Hinah. It is a village in Syria. But then, so that's the title of the article. But then below, it's spelled Heeneh. So it doesn't even know how it's supposed to be spelled.
Okay.
But I think it's Hinah is a Syrian village in the Katana district of the Rif Damascus Governorate.
Make sure you don't offend them. We could have listeners there.
Yeah, in Syria, who's in the middle of a governmental transition.
It could be
coup.
Lindsay.
Okay. According to the Syria Central Bureau of Statistics, why can't these people get it right? It's Syria Central Bureau of Statistics, but then it's CBS. And then
Seth, it's Wikipedia. The people is us.
This is killing me. And then Henna, spelled differently again, had a population of 1,524 in the 2004 census. That's how long it's been since this has been updated. Garrett, I'm going to share my screen with you. You have to see how many different times this thing is spelled. Henna. Syria Central Bureau of Statistics, CBS. Not SCBS. I'm losing my mind with this article. So their last historical update, Garrett. 1838. In 1838, Eli Smith noted Hineh's population as Druze and Orthodox Christians. That is as far as we go.
Eli Smith. I feel like that is the most old-timey name possible. But if you swap out either of those names, like let's say it's Jason Smith.
Yeah.
or Eli Whitaker.
I don't.
Eli Johnson.
This really is like we're at the bottom of Wikipedia because the article doesn't even know what to call itself.
Yeah.
All right. Your turn, pal.
Okay. Well, mine's one of those that it's... There's the whole section on what it is. There's the theory of it. There's the spring slider model, rupture variety, observations. Like it's long. It's long. So I can't read it. So basically what that leaves me is talking about California and earthquake drills.
Okay, go ahead, buddy. I want to hear it.
When I was in school,
we talked about this in episode 0, by the way.
Oh, we did? Okay.
But don't they say in California, all right, now hide in the bathtub.
Yes.
Hide in the bathtub. It's the safest spot.
Except when you're at school, there is no bathtubs.
Yeah, because California isn't that rich.
There are no bathtubs.
Excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom. I might take a bath a little bit later.
Yes.
Gosh.
Garrett Uppercrest III requires a bath immediately before math.
Before the mathematics. And then you go in the mathematics, you're like, I'm ready. And then just bomb the test.
Yeah.
You just fail the test.
I'm like, well, good thing I've been in this kind of situation before. And I just like do a cannonball into a bunch of numbers in a bathtub. So yeah, at school, they don't have bathtubs. So what they do is they make you get under your desk.
Yeah, that's how they would protect each other from nuclear bombs. We've discussed that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
We had earthquakes.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my mother, her worst fear is earthquakes.
But she lives in California?
So she's not afraid of anything in the entire world except earthquakes.
That's like you live in Bay Village and you're like, oh, I can't stand lakes.
Yeah.
It's right there.
You're like, oh, thank goodness we're safe. And then you just tap my shoulder and point.
Like, don't look left.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? This is fine. And then the cliff just crumbles out from beneath me and I'm like, ah!
Yeah. And they go and they're like, it was a magnitude 2 earthquake.
Okay.
So, Garrett, you know what I hear prevents natural disasters?
No.
Clicking like and subscribe on this podcast and giving us a 5-star review. So if you want to protect your village, go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Shake a leg and go do it.
If you guys have any topic ideas or suggestions for the podcast, please email us at bantergravy@gmail.com, and we would love to hear any questions or topic ideas that you have. I think we just did one in episode 43, right, Garrett?
Yep, you're correct.
All right. Well, take care. And Garrett, what's happening?
Take care.
And there's an earthquake.